Hi, and welcome to another edition of For Your Review. I'm your host, Scott Birmingham, and this is another special one-on-one where we talk with people in the film industry, directors and producers. If they're in film and they're involved and they're making it, we talk to them. Today's kind of a special day because there's been a frenzy of sorts with a film, and the title of it, you've been hearing it lately, it's been a buzzword, on everything. Do we call it Sharknado or Sharknado, Anthony?
It's Sharknado.
Sharknado. We have the director of the film, Anthony C. Ferrante, here on Google Plus talking about Sharknado. It's been playing on Sci-Fi. It's going to be coming up again Thursday on Sci-Fi in case you missed it somehow, and it's hard now not to know that it's around. Anthony, let's talk about this movie. First, let's talk about how you even became involved in the film.
I had done a film for the Asylum last year called Hansel and Gretel, the small little horror movie with Dee Wallace, and this one came along. I always liked the title. I thought it was a great title, and again, I keep telling people, it's like, really, you get to do a movie with sharks and a tornado. Are you going to say no about it? It's just a great concept. It's fun. It's silly. Most of my stuff is horror. It's, there's always been humor in my stuff. It's a very dry sense of humor.
Do you think that's been the big buzz about it?
I had the chance to be a little more overt in my craziness. So it was, finally a chance to kind of do a little, comedy with the genre stuff.
Do you think that is what has caught people's attention, is perhaps the humor that's in it, and it's something to enjoy?
Yeah, the thing is, my sense of humor is very dry, and the fact that it's sort of hit critical mass with this strange movie is kind of cool. It started with the script. Thunder Levin wrote the script, and then I came in and started bringing other weird ideas to the table. But they're just like stuff like the bar stool and things. There's just like a lot of weird things in the movie. To be perfectly honest, it was like 2 months ago, I think, and we were sitting down to watch the movie, kind of almost finished with like 2 or 3 people, and just to see, is this working, whatever. And after it was over, I just kind of sat there and looked at everybody, and I said, this is just weird. This is the strangest movie I think I've ever made, and I don't know if anybody's going to get it. I knew the genre fans would get it. I knew when, the whole jumping into the shark thing, I knew that we had them with that, but it's just as sort of, it has a story, but it just kind of goes in these weird, strange places. I keep saying that word, but it's a strange film that people embrace, and maybe that is why. I think another reason is, and we've thought about it a lot, that a lot of the summer movies have been very dark. Some of them very good, like World War Z. But you go to a movie theater, you don't really want to see Superman killing people. You want to see like fun, and that sense of fun that we had last summer with Avengers hasn't really been here. Except for I liked Iron Man 3. It got a little dark too, but. I think that Marvel thing carried over for Iron Man 3, but it wasn't the juggernaut that Avengers was. But since then, we've been waiting for something, and on TV, we had all this other stuff going on with the Zimmerman trial, and just a lot of horrible stuff going on. And I think people just wanted to turn their brains off. And I don't think there's anything wrong with people saying, let's just sit down and have fun with the movie. And what happened was everybody started doing the Twitter thing, and so we had this nationwide movie theater on the web and on TV, and it's never happened. And so, I just think it was the right time. Plus, it cost nothing. It didn't cost $40 to watch Sharknado.
Right. How is it difficult to get actors that want to do this sort of thing, or are they jumping at, yes, I really want to do this kind of stuff?
Well, think about it. Hey, we want you to be in a movie called Sharknado with a tornado full of sharks destroying Los Angeles. No actor's going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. It's just one of those things. I know that they went through a list of people that they were interested in, but it's hard to sell people on that concept unless they've met me or seen the storyboards or understanding what the intent is, because frankly, it could go either way. It could have ended up like what we did, or it could just have went horribly wrong, and it would be an embarrassment to somebody. And I mean, it's like I say, if you did it a certain way. I mean, if you do it one way or another way, I mean, who's to say? But so I know they went after. I know they went after a handful of people. I don't know who any of those people were, because I came in about 2 weeks before we started shooting. But Ian and Tara, Cassie, Jason, Aubrey, John Hurd, you name it, they all got it, and they were all there for us. I mean, they were pretty cool. Like I said, Ian Ziering, let us pour blood on him. He birthed himself out of a shark. That takes a certain type of actor to fully commit to that and say, I'm going to do that. So
out of all this national attention that you've received, and I know that you weren't really prepared for it, and it's just kind of been an onslaught between CNN and the interviews. Do you think that has opened up your opportunity to even do more stuff, or do you kind of want to stay doing that kind of stuff just on a bigger platform?
The thing is that I got into this business to make movies because I love making movies, and obviously I would love to make bigger and better things, just in terms of just having a little more time and a little more budget to play with. This thing, we had a blast doing it, but it was brutal. We had 18 days. We had less than 6 months to deliver the film. And we worked insane hours trying to make the film that everybody saw. So it was crazy, and having 25 days or 30 days just means that you can sleep a little bit more.
Right.
You can be a little sharper on set and not like have 2 hours sleep because you're trying to put out fires the night before. So I just want to keep doing this. And the thing is that at least it's already opening up a lot of doors for me that I never would have hoped to be able to walk through. And it's legitimized because the film is like worldwide right now.
Right.
So if that helps me getting other gigs, and if it helps me get some of my pet projects off the ground, I'm all for it. I love this stuff. And I think the thing that I like the most about what happened with Sharknado is that I always thought I would never get a chance to do a real comedy. I would be kind of doing horror, but now I could do the horror thing. But now people know Sharknado. It's not such a big stretch to say, hey, here, you want to do this kind of funny comedy. So,
do you have anything on your plate that you want to do next?
I have a script called The Key that we've been trying to set up for a while, and now it's starting to get some interest that now that Sharknado's happened. It's a sort of a dark thriller, like if David Cronenberg directed Pretty in Pink. It's just this massive mythology, and kind of like what happened with the social media on this. I mean, it's sort of a complicated thing where we want to create this whole universe above and beyond just the film itself. And there's another project called RCVR, Receiver, that I was involved in 2 years ago. It was a transmedia web experience that David Van Eysen, director, created, and he directed that for Machinima. He's been developing it for a while. I was involved in the component of creating the other aspects of the Receiver universe. So I created a whole bunch of websites that were filled with content, created a government agency for the project, shot like alien autopsy videos and blog things, and we just created this whole thing. We proved that you can actually make a transmedia experience. And so Receiver's got a little interest in the last year or so from some TV outlets that are interested in, possibly networks interested in doing this. So I'm hoping that with the success of this sort of Twitter phenomenon and social media, that we'll be able to get Receiver out there, because David created a great universe, and I was grateful to be included in that, and I learned a lot. So those are the two things. And then there's this comedy I'm attached to, actually, called Shots, which is a bar comedy. It's a TV series that they've been trying to set up as well, and it's really, really funny. And so hopefully that will see the light of day too at some point.
Well, Anthony, I want to thank you. We should probably end this because on the internet, like I said, 5 minutes feels like 5 years. I want to make sure that we keep track of you with what happens to these future films that you just talked about. And if some of these come to fruition, let's do this again. Let's talk about it, and we'll promote it again. And we'll just see, Anthony C. Ferrante on everything, everywhere.
Yeah, the Anthony C. Ferrante network. I'm gonna be like Oprah. I've already got plans. It'll be called the ACF network, and it'll just be me all the time. Just like I really love doing this. I'm so antisocial sometimes, so to actually have to be front and center, it's sometimes kind of interesting. But
Well, Anthony, thank you for joining us on For Your Review, and we look forward to keeping tabs on you and seeing what comes up next, and much success to Sharknado. And I know it's already building steam, and it's a train almost out of control, but it's in a nice way. You can only wish for this kind of a publicity to happen. So thank you for joining us. I am Scott Birmingham. And our guest today was Anthony C. Ferrante, the director of Sharknado, coming up on Thursday, if you haven't seen it yet, on Sci-Fi. And this is For Your Review.